Hi, it's Beezy. It is May 7th, and I'm in the middle of, it's actually kind of a cool little fairy wood up on a bit of a wee mountain. I'm in the Olympic Peninsula, and I'm not sure where this, there we go, branch is going. We got here yesterday. It's nice, a little bit of sun off to the west, northwest. It's a little overcast the rest of the way. It was rained all day yesterday, so good thing I practiced with Jennifer on the phone to set up the tent in not rain. My friend Tom helped me a bit set it up, so we got it set it up. Didn't take too long, and then I spent the rest of the afternoon that I had in the rain moving things back and forth so that I could have a few things set up in the tent and get Rose situated. Jennifer gave me this wonderful long rectangle, kind of meshed, and it has some covering too. Little house. Hey! You know, that's maybe 30 inches long, maybe 36 inches long. Anyway, so she's in that. She was in that last night, and I let her out a little bit to explore late. Anyway, so it was raining all day yesterday, and pouring all night. And it was, the most exciting was it was 34 degrees. So it was chilly, and Rose is in her, I left her in a crate at night because I figured that was the coziest place for her. She has a little bed, and she had a blanket. And I tried covering it all up, and she didn't like that because she couldn't see us and smell us. And so I took that off, and she kept saying, "Mom, we need to go inside. Have you noticed it's cold out here?" And the dogs decided that since it was cold, they'd sleep on the bed. And then they were kind of surprised when the bed was only about this wide. And so they said, "Okay, well, that's the bed." And they decided to sleep on me, which kind of worked, didn't kind of work because I couldn't move. So that was my adventure last night. And I'm very happy to say that even with all those discomforts, and absolutely not like I had envisioned it or like I choose or any of those things in the heart's desire, I remained all day yesterday in a state of neutrality, which to me is terrific because it's not kibitzing or woe is meing, and it's not in a flight or get out of here mode. It's not in a worry mode. It's not even in a I have to fix this, I got to do something, mode. Just neutrality. And in that neutrality position, I could notice my preferences, the things that were nice about where I was and what I was experiencing, and the things that I did not prefer. And then I could go off on a whole riff with my heart on what I did prefer and how great it would be. And part of that was, doggies are playing. This is nice because they get to be off leash right here. Part of that time to really do that was my friend Barbara, who stays in this little, it's just like a little compound, and she has a small little fifth wheel, and it's right now it's been stationary for 2 years, I think. So they don't bring the slide in and out. They just have it set up as a home. So obviously it's not set up, you can go down the road right this minute because their stuff would move. But it's lovely. She has her 2 tuxedo cats, and Tom's there. And he made this wonderful porch next to it. And the first time I came around, she had some pots with some flowers. And yes, this is more of a stationary setup than I will eventually do. But don't kiss the camera. He's into it. But it was lovely. It was this charming little fairy cottage. And the energy was lovely. And so I came over, she invited me over for a little dinner, and just to sit, brought a chair in from the porch, and to sit with them and be in that space. To me, it was lovely. And so I had, in the neutrality the rest of the time, I had amazing you know, an hour or two of being with friends and catching up and connecting. And the whole time I was doing nothing but rampages of appreciation and deliciousness of, yes, a tiny house, and more to the point, a tiny home, and a way to create the energetic vibration, and the way to go and play and meet different people and experience different things. And yes, so whereas it wasn't mine and I was visiting, it was a lovely visit and couldn't have been more welcoming and more delicious. But it was this amazing opportunity to go on this rampage of appreciation and, feeling in the space that I want to feel, and loving my tiny home. And through their tiny home, I was loving my tiny home on wheels. And these visions were coming in, and it kept going the rest of the evening when I back to my place. And it kept me warm. It kept me warm, before I laid down to rest for the evening, because I was shining my light and I was connecting with this whole appreciation and bringing it forward. And that's what I need to do, and we all need to do, is if we're not in, absolutely, if we're not in what we want right now, then this is where we really need to do it. Because I'm thinking, I need to do more of this, instead of packing to rushing to this and that and the other thing. Anyways, I just wanted to share that. So it was terrific, and I don't look too disheveled for the morning after my first night ever in a tent. Camping out, even though there were some people around, and 34 degrees and rain, and only a few drops that I noticed dropped inside the tent, and everything else seemed to be pretty good. The dogs didn't freak out, cat didn't freak out, mom didn't freak out. I'm still excited. So, and I shared with them last night, even in all of the, well, this is kind of cold and the night's going to get colder, and even in all that, even in the not how I would prefer and all those kinds of things, but being in complete neutrality, it was so much so all that recipe that I just described was so much more desirable than where I was, in a tiny home that didn't leak, with money flowing in, and the job, and at least I got this, all that kind of stuff. And so I had rampages of appreciation for that feeling, for that knowing that even this change may be a whole long laundry list of things that are not on my preferred thing, and bringing up emotions and challenges and all these kinds of things. It was an unequivocal feeling of joy in my body that, even with all this picture painted, just as I described in a little tiny bit of detail, vividly experiencing it was far more desirable than what I had moved from. So it wasn't like I'm taking a step down. It wasn't like, well, she gave up this and that and the other thing, and now look where she... No, because I wasn't I wasn't available to, I wasn't able to connect and touch with that space, because it's full of potentiality and full of possibility, and more to the point, more linear, full of moving to actually, tangibly, viscerally, hey, come here, joyfully moving to exactly what I want to be. And it's expanding all the time. And being able to be immersed in the wonderful home that Barbara and Tom had and shared with me for the evening brought it to life, enlivened it, gave it color and sound and preference. And I could look at little things and say, oh yes, I would love to arrange something like that, and say, well, nope, I don't need that because I don't have, this or whatever it was. And so it was tangible and touchable. So I was in quantum toolbox and quantum playground space last night, in addition to being with friends and connecting, and having a wonderful meal. In addition to all that, I was creating, I was connecting, I was forming, sculpting, molding, magnetizing in the stuff, and I could feel it happening. And it was what, like I said, when I went back to my place, and as the temperature dropped, I just thought, well, I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna be part of what's heating all of this up, aside from our body heat, and shine my light, and my thrill of what I am magnetizing to me and what I will create for myself and all of us and my family, and then the inspiration and the joy and creating for others and doing that, that's gonna light that fire, and this glow is gonna be the tent. And so, no frostbite. and different than what we have experienced and may have been on our list to choose to experience, but okay. And because of everything else I've described, far better than okay. So that's my short rambling in the woods update with puppies running around, and I'll be creating more. One thing I do want to finish with, it's very important to me. I'm hoping that the internet connection I have will hold, and I'm setting up my channel on Locals. It's LivingLifeinHD Locals with an S.com, and I'm having the components, I'm building them offline. Hey, hey, and then I'll put them all up later today. So I would love to have people go. If you can become a member for free and get in, and you won't see much of there. You'll see a few things, but there won't be much. There will be ton this evening. There's a welcome video already ready to go later tonight and all sorts of stuff. But I sure hope you will consider exchanging of value, and you can become a supporter with the minimum of $5 a month. And hey, Jennifer, with a minimum of $5 a month, and love it, would be thrilled if you feel that the value is more, to have more than that a month. And I will be doing some stuff still on YouTube, but because there is a component of LivingLifeinHD.locals.com that's all free, and there will be free content there, I'm going to be doing a lot of it over there. I think that pretty soon YouTube is going to be not working because of all sorts of stuff that's coming out. So I just want to let you know there will be some stuff on YouTube, but most of it, if not, except for the some stuff, most of it will be over on LivingLifeinHD.locals.com. And like I said, if becoming a member of my community, of the community, there's a lot of stuff you can avail yourself of completely free. And it's a wonderful community. And then as a supporter, there's all sorts of exclusive content that you can avail yourself of, and really cool, that you can start to create things. You can share pictures, you can share thoughts, you can share, Jeannie, story, you can share some videos, you can be part of the conversation, expand the conversation, jump in and co-create, and that's part of what you get for being a supporter as well. So you have a place to play and create and be fully involved in the community. So I hope you do that. What I would love to see is a whole bunch of people catch this, and they go over and they go to LivingLifeinHD.locals.com, and they sign up as a member, which I said is absolutely free. And then I hope that you will think about, especially once I get some more content in there, well, actually all the content loaded, and begin, I've got a whole bunch of new ones ready to go, that you will become a supporter. That's how they describe it. And then start to connect and join in the conversation and create some content and posts and share some stuff of your own. And I'll do lives, and I'll have Zoom hangouts, and I'll do a bunch of stuff. One other thing I want to mention too is that as quickly as I can get to 50 supporters, and I'm hoping it'll be lots more than that, then they change their levels, then I have access to many more very cool capabilities that I can bring in more fun for us to interact and co-create and have all sorts of play shops and all sorts of fun things that it can all be in that area. So that's my request. I love to see you over there, at the very least as a member, for most of what I'll be doing, which is a whole lot. I think there's a bunch already in the 4 or 5 already in the can ready to go, and new ideas are flowing in all the time. And got to keep yourself warm, so you got to come up with ideas. And the inspiration is flowing, and I'm actually getting happier and happier and happier and more inspired every moment. So, see you over on LivingLifeinHD.Locals.com, and there will be some bits of stuff here on the free YouTube, but I have a beautiful free channel that's in development, and that's where I'd love to see you all, because it's a real community opportunity there, and it's born, most importantly, it's born of the new energies. Didn't exist before, and it's created exactly for these times. It's of the new frequency energetic. I love you.